This past weekend, I went and saw Ad Astra, and it was not exactly what I was expecting. What I mean by that is that based off the 83 or something percent that it had on Rotten Tomatoes, it didn't live up to that expectation I had that it was going to be amazing, and there were a few things that popped out to me. One of those reasons was that the film was more about the journey and not the character's journey. And what I mean by that is that it was trying to tell the story of an astronaut trying to find his father that went missing, but it was more focused on telling the story in the sense of him journeying to the moon and then to Mars and then to find his father. Where the film really should have delved deep into why he was looking for his father, his relationship with his father, and I felt that it just lacked. On top of this, though, the cinematography in this film was excellent, like over the top, amazing. I felt that Brad Pitt had a very good performance in the film. It wasn't his fault that the film lacked because he was really good in it, and so was Tommy Lee Jones. Like, they both did what they were supposed to do. It was just that this film focused a lot on the journey of traveling through space and what the communities are like, where it kind of just forgot about its characters. And to me, that bugged me, and I've heard from other people that they actually really enjoyed the film or they saw what they were trying to get across in the film, but I just didn't find it. Sitting at, I believe, right over 2 hours, it is kind of long for a film that doesn't seem to have a purpose, and maybe I missed a purpose, and that is fine, but it's not a film I'll go and watch again. It dragged. It started with him in space, and then it moved to him getting sent on a mission, and the whole point was that he's disconnected from his emotions because his heart rate always stays the same no matter what happens. And while this is a cool concept, it's only brought up about 3 or 4 times throughout the film, and so when it does get brought up, you're just like, that's great. And when his heart rate increases, you're like, okay, he's having an actual problem. But I don't think it delved deep into it. I feel like there were things they could have done. They could have showed more events. They could have showed things that really should have ticked his heart rate, and instead they didn't. And there were some really cool sequences in this film. There was a scene where they had to go and rescue a ship, and it was a really cool sequence. And while I really enjoyed this part of the film, it was that there was too much I didn't like about this film. I thought the actors were really great. I thought the cinematography was great. I didn't think the special effects were anything special, especially in 2019 when we've had things like Avengers Endgame with its visual effects. I mean, there were so many effects in that movie. And when we've had cinematography along the runs of Blade Runner 2049, I mean, there are other films that are really good at cinematography. And while this film is really good with cinematography, I could say the same thing about last year's First Man. While it lacked a story, it had some really cool sequences. The whole lunar sequence in that film was phenomenal, but the actual film just lacked something. I'm not sure what it was. And in this film, it was more conflict. I never felt the character was in immediate danger, and that I don't think they clearly defined his character. But once he reaches his father, I really thought the chemistry between Brad Pitt and Tommy Lee Jones was really great, in that this conflict of they haven't seen each other in 20 or more years, and how they would respond to that, and the way that they set up Tommy Lee Jones' character really just worked for me. But what didn't work for me was the way that they wanted to end it. Like, they went out into space, and it was about him letting go of his father, but the whole film hadn't led up to him having to let go of his father. At least that was not how I perceived it. And so to me, this ending lacked. He got home safely. And so overall, the film just lacked any sense of conflict that I could attach myself to, an attachment of these characters might not make it through this journey. And so to me, it just didn't work for me. My opinion of Ad Astra is that I just did not enjoy it, and it was not a film I'd sit through again. This film is going to go down as one of the films in 2019 that I just really didn't enjoy. And quite honestly, it's almost as bad as X-Men Dark Phoenix, but not quite to that level. It takes a lot to get that low. If you like what you saw here, be sure to subscribe and definitely check back later, because we're going to be having more reviews coming. Specifically in October, I can definitely say that Joker will be coming. Anyway, thanks for watching.